All right, let's dive into a pretty wild idea today. We're going to explore how our digital world, the internet, the cloud, all of it isn't abstract or weightless at all. We tend to think of it as happening somewhere else, but what if it's actually tangibly, physically real? It all kicks off with a question that's so simple, most of us never even think to ask it. Where, physically, is the internet? I don't mean your Wi Fi router or the phone in your hand. I mean the whole shebang. Cyberspace, the cloud, the network itself. Where does it live? Well, to answer that, we have to zoom out, way out. To really get to the bottom of this, we need to start with the biggest concept there is, the universe. And a core idea that by its very nature, existence has to be a single, unified thing. The clue is right there in the word itself, universe. It comes from the Latin uni, which means one, and versum, turned into a whole. So by its very definition, the universe isn't just a container holding a bunch of stuff. It is the one thing that is the sum total of everything that exists. And this is where that popular sci-fi idea of a multiverse runs into a bit of a logical brick wall. See, for a true multiverse to exist, you need separate realities that can't interact at all. But here's the catch-22. If something can't interact with our reality in any way, shape, or form, then we can never ever know it exists. The very second we could somehow detect another universe, that interaction would instantly make it part of our universe. And this quote just nails it. The very act of knowing something, of observing it, collapses any illusion that it's separate from you. It's proof that you're both part of the same single system. Now hang on to that idea of interaction, because it is the absolute key to everything we're about to talk about. Okay, so if interaction is what makes things real, let's see how that big philosophical idea is actually backed up by some seriously hard physics. This brings us to our next section, where we're going to see that information isn't some abstract ghost in the machine, it's physically real. For pretty much all of human history, we've treated information like it was, well, magic. A thought, an idea, a piece of code, it all seems totally weightless, totally separate from the clunky physical world of atoms and energy. Turns out, that's one of the biggest misunderstandings of our time. Get this. All the way back in 1961, a physicist named Rolf Landauer proved that information has a physical cost. His principle is so simple, but it is profound. Just look at the steps. To erase even one tiny bit of data, a 1 or a 0, you have to use a minimum amount of energy. And that energy doesn't just vanish, it's released as actual measurable heat. The conclusion is just inescapable. If messing with information creates a real-world physical effect, then information itself has to be physical. And this right here, this is where it all clicks into place. We're going to take Landauer's principle and apply it to that thing we all use every single day, but probably never think about. The cloud. I mean, we all say it, right? My photos are in the cloud. I'll just save this to the cloud. The name itself makes you think of something fluffy, weightless, floating around up there. But after what we just learned about information and energy, is it really just a metaphor? The answer is a hard no. It is not a metaphor. The cloud is a real, physical, thermodynamic system. It is as real as a hurricane or a star. It's not a concept, it's a place, a very real, physical place. And don't just take my word for it. Look at the evidence. The cloud radiates very real heat from massive data centers. That's Landauer's principle happening on a global scale. It sends actual photons of light shooting through fiber optic cables. It eats up billions of watts of electricity. It's made of physical stuff, silicon, electrons, light. It takes up space, and it has to obey the exact same laws of physics that govern everything else in the universe. It's not virtual, it is real. So let's zoom back out again. What we've just figured out about the cloud? Well, the crazy part is that it basically mirrors the structure of the cosmos itself. The rules are the same whether you're talking about galaxies or data centers. Just look at this comparison. It's kind of amazing, right? In the big cosmic universe, you have quanta. In our digital one, you have bits. You have quantum entanglement versus digital networks. The fabric of reality is space-time. The fabric of the digital world is the cloud. But look at that last row. The governing law is identical. To exist is to interact. To connect is to be part of the system. It's the same principle. And that's the ultimate bottom line here. The moment a so-called virtual system starts exchanging measurable energy, like the heat coming off your laptop or the light in a fiber optic cable, the word virtual just loses all meaning. It has crossed the line. It's physical, period. So, for our final section, let's just sit with the absolutely stunning implications of all this. If our digital world is physically real and it's part of our one and only universe, what does that actually mean for us, the people building and living in it? The source material puts forward this really powerful, poetic idea. If information is carried by light, by energy, then maybe the very fabric of existence is a kind of communication. It suggests that information isn't just something in the universe. In a way, it is the universe. And this is where you come in. Every time you go online, every time you connect, you're not just a passive observer looking at a screen. You are an active participant in a physical event. Your consciousness, through your device, is exchanging real energy and information with a global physical network. You are literally co-creating a moment of reality. Which brings us full circle, all the way back to the most important number in this whole discussion. 1. There is no separate physical world and virtual world. There's only one system, one single luminous continuum of energy, information, and awareness. And we become part of it every single time we connect. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. We started by asking where the internet is, and we found out it's physically woven into the fabric of our universe. Every connection we make is a real physical interaction. So if every click, every message, and every search is physically binding us deeper and deeper into one single global thermodynamic system, what exactly are we all becoming together?